In this video, I'd like to look at how to use an if statement. Now, ifs are conditional. So if you tidy your room, then you can go to the party, otherwise you can't. It's that kind of thing. So what I want to do is, let's make a coin toss. We're going to toss a coin, and it either comes up heads or tails. So let's think this through. First thing we're going to need to do is set up a variable, declare a variable. So I go in here, I make a variable, and I call it coin toss. And we could go on start, set the coin toss to, now it's got a number here. Now heads or tails could be true or false, but how about we use it as 0 or 1? So 0 means it's a head and 1 means it's a tail, 0 and 1. So I'm going to set it originally on the start of the program to 0. Now we need to have an event, an input, something that happens to make the coin toss. I suppose the best one for that really is shake. If you shake the chip, then it simulates the coin toss. So on the shake, what we've got to do is we've got to set that coin toss. You might think, why have that twice? Well, here we've kind of created the variable and set it to 0. Now, inside this shake event, what we're going to do is when it's shaken, we're going to make it a random 0 or a 1. So that random, if you remember, we find in the maths. So we're going to pick a random number, and it's 0 to 1. So when you shake it, it was 0 up here on start. Now it becomes either a 0 or a 1. We don't know which one. So now we can go into the logic and we can say if. And you'll notice there are two here. If something, then something happens. Else, something else happens. So if it's as, okay, well, let's say here we've got to put in, we're not going to show the number. What have we got to do? Where's the input? If, no, it'll be under logic. If, there we go, that's the one we want. Okay. Sometimes you have to search around a bit in the menus. I'm not quite sure where it is. So if, well, we need the coin toss there. That coin toss is now a random 0 or 1. So if the coin toss is equal to 0, then it must show heads. Otherwise, if it's another number, i.e. 1, then it must show the tails. So I need to go and get that variable coin toss and just plop it in there. So if coin toss equals to 0, then, and I can use my, whoops, it's in the wrong place. Hate it when that happens. No, must go in there. Okay, so now I can create my H for heads, and otherwise, else, it's a T for tails. Simple, simple, simple. And what happens after you've shaken it? It's then sitting with whatever that random number is. Now, if you shake it again, it's going to pick another random number, 0 to 0. That's why it's important to put that set coin toss inside the shake event. But we might want to reset it. So what you could do is you could have another input. Let's say on button A pressed, we could make the coin toss 0 again, just so it goes back to 0. That's a little touch which you can use to reset a value if you've used it inside the shake. So let's test it. We go here and we shake, and it comes up tails. Shake again. Now it's heads. Heads, tails, tails, heads. Seems to work. We've tested it. Working great. Well done.